So, first thing, good news is I've been booked at one of my favorite studios I've ever known. I've always wanted to work for this company. I've done some little bit of work in the past with them, but not direct. And it's really great to work with the team there. I'm just really happy to be working with them. But the thing is, because I really want to make sure that I do well, especially with them, I'm really dedicating most of my energy towards that job. So I just don't have the time or energy that I feel like is extra to make a full blast video. So that's why we're doing a Q&A, which you guys have submitted, thankfully. But I did want to go into making something this week for you guys. And just also, I like making videos. The first one is, you've mentioned entrepreneurship in past videos. How do you balance your energy and time while working for someone else trying to get your own ideas off the ground? So it's interesting because that's a perfect question to start off with, which is I look at trying to develop in any skill, say a soft skill, and there's a lot of reading and processing and journaling. This kind of reflection is something that I do in like a scheduled fashion, like just a little bit every day. Kind of just like a slow drip, just let it build over time. I don't really work too hard on it. Then when there's something like software or something I got to learn, I kind of go pretty hard into it, kind of like a lion feasting, just kind of go all in and then just rest and let it soak up. So I'll do like a few hours every day, really, really hit something and just crush it, then rest for a couple days, and then do the same thing. And in those in-betweens, that's where that persistence comes in. I'll just mess around. I'll try to build something in the software, but then, it's just kind of crap, so delete it. But at least I'm in there just getting experience. But the underlining theme for all of this is just persistence. Do you think minimalism has changed over the recent years? If so, for the better or worse? I don't think it can change because it just is. It's just a way of living, which is being intentional, and the more intentional you are, the more you discover what's really important. And stuff that can be, it can be a lot of things, like a tool belt, or a tool chest. If you're a mechanic, you have a garage. Well, I don't need a garage. So minimalism is about intention and figuring out what you actually need, and then living up to that very deliberate type of living. It's kind of a messy answer, but I just don't think. I don't know. I mean, I hear people talk about minimalism in a lot of different ways, but to me, it's just, I don't know. You're just like, it's just basically being smart about stuff. Like, why are you carrying 3 bags when you travel when you can just do it all in a couple, like in a backpack? So I don't really understand the other way of living. I've been doing this my whole life, so it's really hard for me to think about it in any way other than the truth of it. So yeah. Okay, there's this question about New York and my living and how it's a moneymaker and it's expensive and there's some problems with New York. But basically, what's my takeaway? What do I think of New York? Well, that's kind of a whole thing. But New York is a really great place. It's one of the, I would say it's one of the best places I've ever been to, and I was really happy to live there. It's just very intense. It's just, it's like a very pungent food. It's really satiating, but it's also not something that I wanted to have every single meal. But it's the best thing, I think, for anybody's career. So if you're thinking about leveling up as financially, professionally, and personally, because I think that the people there are the best people I've ever met, the nicest people I've ever met. I like the demeanor of East Coast far more than West Coast. Like, for example, you could say that it's generally decided that movies that really come from like New York area are really based on story and, the meaning and subtext of everything. Where West Coast is just, there's these other things that they tend to think is more important. So I really like the idea of something just a little bit deeper, something that's more lasting. As far as I'm concerned, that's how the people are too. They're less superficial, and they're more into something what makes somebody and who they are, versus like what their income is, or their race, or all that stuff. I just see less boundaries in New York than anywhere else. Also, there's just so much opportunity because it's New York. I mean, it's literally the greatest city in the world, or one of, and maybe not so right now. That's kind of why I don't live there right now. But uh, overall, if anybody were to say I'm moving to New York, I'd be like, congratulations, you're gonna have a wonderful life. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be noisy, lots of jackhammers, all that stuff. But yeah, it's a great place. In my experience, how do I balance work and life? And basically, it's I don't know. I don't have any way of doing that very well. So I just don't. And I just kind of burn out pretty much. Something I'm working on. Have you recently felt like you wanted to shave off your beard and stash clean shaves to start over? So, not really. I actually haven't had the desire to actually do it. I actually like how the beard or mustache looks. The only reason that I would shave it off is because I'm sick of hearing about it. People always have questions about it. People always talk to me about it. This becomes really annoying. I don't like hearing about beards in general. It's not a hobby of mine. It's just a style point. It's kind of like, if I wore a scarf and for some reason everybody talked about a scarf, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna stop talking about my scarf. This is so weird. Why is everybody doing that? I think it's a little weird how much I hear about it. It's strange. It's nice. I get the compliment. I'm grateful for everything, but that would be the only reason that I would shave it off. Otherwise, I like it, and that's kind of my perspective. Is it's only really as important as somebody makes it. So, somebody's like, oh, I wish I could grow a beard like that. I'm like, yeah, I also wish I was 6 feet tall, but I'm not. And it's also not that big of a deal. But like, I don't know. I just don't think it's just not that big of a deal, to be honest. It definitely helps. It's nice. But any facial hairs, just a little bit of stubble, even if you can't grow more than just a thin thing, just a little bit, I think it all helps. But style icons or influences. So I don't really have any, and I never really had. I'll see a look or something, and I will save it in my memory bank, and it'll just kind of develop into my own personal style. Something that's it just kind of grows over time. Maybe I'll see a bunch of smart looking styles. Like, I was in London and I really liked how smart everybody was looking. So I'm always keeping an eye out for a nice top coat that would look really good with, like a tucked in shirt and some slacks. I really like that smart look, but right now I've not found the jacket. I haven't found the shirts or the pants that I'm truly in love with. But it's just this concept of this sleek style that isn't drab and super white guy. I don't like that. It's kind of more of like the dreamboat in a movie smart looking thing, like that debonair type of thing. And I like that, but it's hard. It's tricky because what I see in my brain is not what I see in the stores, and I haven't found that. So that's kind of how I approach everything. Or I get stuff for free. My brother gave me this jacket. If I could live anywhere, where would it be? I mean, right now, I'm loving Maine. I think this place is perfect. It's calm. There's still a lot of places to go. A lot of nice people. I really like that. I like how diverse it is. I can hop down New Hampshire, where I'm at right now, or go up to Maine or to Massachusetts really quickly. Man, this is kind of like a sweet spot, to be honest. Like, don't tell anybody. It's perfect. So yeah, Maine is really good. But I'd also like to try Austin too. I hear that's going to be fun. I'll probably end up being maybe down there sometime in the future. What next improvement would be appropriate for humanity in your opinion? Teleportation, chip to load things into the brain that would take years to learn languages, or erase addictions and mental illness, etc. The possibility of quick regeneration of body, e.g. limbs, after accidents, or for people who to have an hour of sleep instead of 8, which in my opinion is a waste of time, such as supercharge as in the latest chargers. So I love these kinds of things. This is basically the conversations I have with my friends. Like, this is right in my alley. Everybody talks to me about my beard, but like, I'd rather have them talk about these ideas. Ideas are the most exciting thing in the world, even if they're silly and maybe impossible. I still think it's like stretching, like, just really, really get it as far as you can, and I think it helps your brain become more creative and faster at problem solving. With that being said, I think because I'm always thinking a little more logically, I think all of these teleportation, recharging your system, those are fine, but just like my phone or something, those are very kind of gimmicky. They don't do anything in the long run. So I think the most important thing would be something about information. So I don't think there's anything really more powerful than knowledge and education and processing of the brain. So that would be the answer, is a way to, download data into your brain, and that would in turn create teleportation or connect with the universe somehow. So yeah, it's kind of like the foundation of everything. So that's all the questions today, and I really appreciate everybody putting those in, and it's fun to always answer these. I just never know how much time to spend on a single question, unless it's live, which I'm going to be doing a lot more in the near future, and I'll tell you all about that next month. But when it comes to like pre-recorded question and answer, it's hard to manage how into the question should I go. I don't know. Do I thoroughly answer, or do I just kind of just tap onto it real quick and then move on? I never know. I don't know what's boring to you guys, so I'd love to hear. Do you want to hear fully fleshed out answers, or do you just want to get to the point? I'm curious, when you see Q&As, like, what kind of way do you like to hear about the answer? Whatever. Anyways, that's it for today. Time to rest up and get ready for work this week, and I'll be editing this through the week. So yeah, till next time, guys. Over.